Hey y'all, my name's Jamila and this is Jamila Creates. So for the past couple of weeks I've been making jackets and sweaters from my collection for this upcoming year, and you can see all about that in my playlist. But today I'm going to continue that with one that you'll find super easy. So this one is just taking a panel out of a sweater that came in 3 panels, using that to make a pattern for a new one. Of course, I use measurements, but you can just trace the panel you take out if you still have it. Um, and then just sewing in a whole new panel. And I even 3D printed a little charm to put on it. But really, you could put any charm you want on it. So here's that video. And I forgot to mention real quick, shout out to my lovely grandmother. She was the one who donated. Actually, most of the pieces I'm using in this collection that were upcycles were donated from her. But this one in particular, I could tell that she wore and really liked. So I hope that even though I'm kind of changing it to sell, I hope that I did it some justice. Back to the video. So once again, we're starting with an already cut up upcycle. I didn't mean to do that on the last one, but for this one, I needed to have the panel be separate because I wanted to put in something else. And I wanted to dye this, so I couldn't dye this and the panel as it was and have it stay the same colors where I wanted to. Not that mattered because I wanted this to be black and it is clearly dark green, but I think that's an improvement. The bright blue was a little too 80s retro, so this dulls it down a little bit. Yeah, but because I can't find the panel that I was going to base this pattern on, I'm going to have to measure here to here, up, and then I'll measure here to here, measure across here to here, and then use that to figure out this angle right here. And then I'm going to add some seam allowance to it. And I might add a little bit extra because I cut this, so now it's gone. So now this feeds into this, so now it has its automatic seam allowance. So I'm gonna get on to that. Okay, so here's my diagram. I just want to make it a little bit clearer. I took the halfway point right here and just extended it down and measured based off of that, or what we call in fashion the center front line. So that's this, and that was 7 inches. And then across the top here was 8.25. This was 4. No, sorry. This was 2.5. This was 4, and this to that center mark was 8. So this is actually not that steep. So that's going to be interesting. And now I'm just going to copy this onto a life-size sheet of paper, and then we'll get to cutting it out, and I have the scrap over there. Alright, so it turns out I didn't have as much fabric as I thought I did, but that's okay. I'm just going to add a seam allowance here and have there be a seam in the center front. I forgot to show y'all seam allowance, but I think for the serger, I don't need much. I think I'm going to make it like 0.25 all around. So I'm going to add that with a washable pen and then cut. Before I do anything, I'm going to serge this together. Okay, so my serger doesn't work. I was going to continue that sentence, but it doesn't work. You have to go over it twice and then top stitch it. So that's what I did, and that's why this project has a lot of top stitching, is I just immediately took it to my sewing machine and top stitched this side with the serge, and then this side too, just to make it look even. And now I'm going to pin it on the jacket. Okay, so I'm doing this each side at a time. I know that might take longer, but that's just the better way to do it when you're serging. If you're going to sew this, you can go ahead and just pin everything in place, but because I'm serging it, I'm just going to pin it in the center and then pin it right where this edge meets, because this is the end of that seam where I'll start pivoting into my corners that no longer exist. Did I sew this backwards? I'm pretty sure I didn't. Nope, there's, okay, I should have made a notch right here. And I'm going to actually take my pattern and do that because you do not want to lose track of where that notch is. Let me do that and get right back to you. Okay, I put notches there. That's going to be important when we're doing this sleeve right here because you want this to match up to that notch. But first I'm going to do the top. I really didn't want to do this, but I give up on my serger. I'm just going to do the rest of this with a zigzag stitch on my sewing machine. Those don't often come out as good, but I really don't have any choice at this point. The thing just comes unthreaded every stitch I do, and it's just a nightmare. I've tried everything. Tension, new thread, new needles. I've tried everything and nothing works. So at this point, I hate this thing and I don't even want to look at it anymore. Anyway, back to the project. I'm going to match this tick mark here with this edge and zigzag. I'm going to do that for both sides, and then I'll do the sides and the bottom. Okay, so now all I have to do is top stitch all around here. I've already top stitched this, so that should be easy. And I'm just going to use a black thread because that matches this, and I'm going to top stitch it in this way. I think in my planning in Clo 3D I had like one here, one here. That just kind of feels like overkill to me now looking at the real one. So I'm just going to go along all these edges, kind of clean them up by top stitching them too, because some of them are a little messy, so they could use a bit of a top stitch. But then it's pretty much done. I'm not going to do that on camera. I think I'll just show you all the reveal. Also, this guy needs a little butterfly hanging down, so I will 3D print one of those and we will be done. I'd also like to point out one more thing before we go. This has taken me about 2 hours, mostly with the sewing machine. And think about the time that I wasted complaining about my serger. Y'all weren't privy to that because I did that off camera, but it was a heck of a lot of time. I also listed it on Facebook Marketplace. I had made some phone calls, but unrelated to the serger. But I haven't been said. I think I could have finished this in like an hour with a good serger and a top stitch. So, yeah, even without it, it was just 2 hours. So it's a very speedy project. So that's great. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this and put it on the mannequin for the reveal. And here it is all finished. You can see I added this little button to make it cohesive with the rest, and it comes off. So if you buy it and you don't want the button, you could take it off. But also if you got to wash it, always take this off when you wash it. I kept these on just because they seemed fun, and I had them in the Clo illustration. It would have looked way uglier to cut them off, but really this is what I'm happy with. It turned out pretty good. The center front seam is a little awkward, but other than that, I think it's nice and it goes well with the texture. And here's last week's. And here is the week before. So that is all for the video today. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more. And I have a bunch more coming from my line. I should have put cards up for the previous 2 videos, but I'll also put some links to my ideation and my sketches, and those will be in my playlist as well. My designs from last week and the week before are up on my website for sale. If you're interested in that, I'll have the link to that below. And hopefully by the time this comes out, this will be too. Alrighty, bye!